The purpose of the commentary of the day is to start the meeting off on a positive note. And there's a lot more, but I'm going to skip that because that was self-sufficient. El propósito del comentario del día es comenzar la sesión de manera positiva. Es interesante porque el tema es amistad. Esta noche voy a contar un chiste. No sé exactamente una broma, pero en realidad una cuenta un poco larga. Pero voy a contar esta cuenta en inglés porque de lo contrario la cuenta no tendría sentido en español. Years and years ago, there was a little Swiss village at the foot of the big mountains in Switzerland. And that area was known very much for mountain climbing. It was in that environment. There was a large fraternity of mountain climbers who lived in this village. And there was one young man who was a super friend to a whole bunch of them. He was also a mountain climber, albeit not a particularly good one. He climbed the medium mountains, the smaller mountains, but he was never able to fulfill his lifelong ambition of climbing the big mountain that was just outside of this little village. He tried numerous times, but always failed. But he still was very much loved by his cadre of friends. Time went on and on and on. He grew older and older and passed away. But he was so well thought of and liked that his friends wanted to honor him by fulfilling his lifelong ambition. He wanted to be buried at the top of the mountain. So six of his mountaineering buddies devised a way to haul him and his coffin up to the top of that mountain. So they did it with great pains, got it up there, set it at the top, and then they were looking around trying to figure out how they were going to bury him and his coffin and with what, when a gust of wind came along and it rocked the coffin, and sure enough it went roaring down the hill, just crashing and banging, and it was not a good thing, although it didn't break. But it went zooming to the foot of the hill, which is where the village was, and it went screaming down the main street. And thank goodness it didn't hit anybody or anything, but it had all this speed, and it was going like crazy. And it was headed right for this building at the end of the main street, which is where the combination pharmacist and doctor had his office. So the coffin is screaming along. It hits the sidewalk, flips up, and goes crashing through the front door. And the astonished doctor is wide-eyed looking at it as the coffin bounces off another display case of some kind. The lid opens up, out pops the mountain climber, and he says, "Hey doc, you got anything to stop this coffin?"